G'day people, this is just a short video on how to replace your Jayco stovetop glass. For some reason this glass had shattered, whether it was because the lid was down and the heat transferred, but yeah, this was the result. One shattered glass. So I ordered a new one from Jayco, and I just thought I'd run you through a brief rundown of how to be able to replace that. So to actually remove it, it's only held in place by this heat-proof silicone. I'd imagine it's heat-proof. That's what I've bought myself, just a Sikaflex thermoseal. It's rated to about 250 degrees. It's never going to probably get to that other than around the actual heater element there. That one does take a while to cool down, whereas these gas ones are far cooler, far quicker. So step number one, scrape off all your residual glass. I just used a old paint spatula and a bit of care, because obviously I didn't want to slip and take my knuckles off with broken glass. The other thing is to shut your gas down at the bottle in the front boot of the van. So then it's just a matter of disassembling this top pot rest just comes off. Then you have a star style screw. Where's that? One of these jobs here. It's hard to see. Yeah, so there's just two screws in the top of this plate, so that will come off. Then this second piece comes off, and you're left with 4 screws and a central nut, and possibly some kind of way to get around that bit there, not sure. Okay, so you can see here I've removed the central nut, the 4 screws, and this devious and frustrating spring is fastened around the igniter, this thing here. It does take a bit of mucking around to get that off. I used a tiny flat bladed screwdriver and just pried it off. It's kind of like a spring retainer, but once that's off, you can then lift this whole piece out, and you're left with the residual glass, which you'll need to clean out, and then you can lay your silicone down once it's completely clean, and then fit your glass plating and reassemble. Okay, so to get that glass on, you actually have to remove the whole element, because the hole in the glass for this particular glass isn't bigger than the top of the element. So you've actually got to remove the entire stove, which is just Phillip head screws. It slides out. You've got to disconnect the gas, and of course earlier you would have shut the gas off, so no trouble there. And okay, so what I've had to do is take the element, the electrical heating element out, which you've got to disconnect from underneath the stove, so therefore you have to remove the stove. Once you've got that out, you can place your glass, which fits neatly over the top of everything, and reattach your element, which is that there. Now I've taken a couple of photos just to help me with the rewiring of it. Yeah, of course, being 240 volt, it's zappity zap, you can kill yourself with it, so make sure, of course, if you're going to attempt something like this and you're not an electrician, which is illegal, that you disconnect your power source completely. Once that's done, you can reconnect and drop your stove back in, and you should be ready to reassemble from that point.